Here's the truth about budgeting for a wedding, and almost nobody says it out loud. The hardest part isn't the spreadsheet, it's the conversation. It's two people with two very different money stories trying to agree on one number you both feel good about. And how you handle that right now before the wedding? It's a little preview of how you handle money for the rest of your marriage. So let's do it well. I'm Yoan from Wedding in Bali. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a calm, simple way to budget for a wedding in Bali. It works at any number, gentle or grand. And by the end, there is one thing I want to clear up because it stops a lot of good couples from getting the help they deserve. So let's start with the part that decides everything, the two of you on the same page. Before you look at any single venue, before you save a single photo, the two of you sit down and decide one thing together, your number, the amount you're both genuinely comfortable spending, not the number one of you can just about to survive, the number you both feel good about. And I want to slow down here because this is where money is almost always the thing underneath the thing. So let me say it plainly. The two of you may come from different money history. Maybe one of you grew up where money was tight and careful, and other grew up where it flows a little more freely. Neither one is wrong. They're just different, and they shape how each of you feels the moment a bigger number comes up. So have the real conversation, honestly, kindly, with no scorekeeping. Nobody's spending is on trial here. If someone's family is helping, put that on the table openly so there are no awkward assumption later. Then you land on the number together as a team, not one of you deciding and the other quietly going along with it. Because quiet resentment has a way of showing up later, usually at the worst possible moment. When you choose the number together, the two people, one figure, both at peace with it, you've already done something most couples skip. You've practiced the exact muscle you'll use for every big money decision for the rest of your lives. And that is not a small thing. Honestly, it might be the most loving thing you do all month. Decide what you're really paying for. Okay, you've got your number together. Now, the question that makes a budget actually feel good instead of restrictive. What are you really paying for? Because not everything on a wedding matters to you both equally, and pretending it does, that's exactly how budget gets spread so thin and nothing feels special. So pick your top one or two things, the things you'll remember and look at forever. Maybe it's the photo, maybe it's the food, maybe the view, the music that turns the night into something people still talk about years later. Whatever they are, name them out loud together and fund those first. This is where the real magic lives. Spend where it shows. Trim where it doesn't. A couple who puts their money on the two things they truly love and quietly saves on the rest ends up with a day that feels richer. Richer than a couple who spread the same amount evenly across everything. It's not about cutting, it's about aiming. Allocate it, a starting shape, not a rule book. Now you spread that number across the pieces of the day, and plenty guides will hand you a strict table and tells you this is the rule. I won't. Because a stranger's table copy onto your wedding isn't a budget, is a guess, one that ignores everything you love. So here's the shape to start from, and then you bend it. Venue and catering usually take the biggest share because feeding everyone in a place you love is the largest piece for most couples. Then your top priority, the thing you just named. get funded next before the smaller bits start fighting over it. And everything else, the flowers, the music, the outfits, the little details, they shares what's left and they are flexible. They are the parts you nudge when the numbers needs to move. That's a starting point, not a verdict. You set the real amounts, you shift the weights towards what you care about. It's your shape. Protect a buffer. Here's a habit that quietly separates a calm budget from a stressful one. Before you call your number fully spent, hold the little back untouched. That's your buffer, and you don't plan to spend it. For a wedding in Bali, especially, life finds a few surprises. The exchange rate shifts between when you plan and when you pay. The guest count moves. A small add on you fall for halfway through, a few little fees that only show up near the end. A good buffer absorbs all of it without you even having to touch the money meant for the things you love. Set it aside, then mostly forget it's there. It's what's turned the late surprise into a shrug instead of a fight. Track it together. And the last piece of the method is the simplest. Track it. One plain share sheet, two columns, what you thought you'd spend and what you actually spend once you book. You update it the day you confirm something, not weeks later. And the word that matter there is shared. Both of you can see it anytime. This is the calm version of money in relationship. Nobody's hiding a number, nobody getting ambushed by a total they didn't see coming. When you can both glance at one sheet and know exactly where you stand, the money stops being that low hum of worry in the background. It just becomes a thing you're handling together, the destination layer. Now, one thing almost every budgeting guides forget, and I'll catch you off guard if nobody tells you. A wedding in Bali is also a trip. So you budget the trip and the wedding together, not separately. That means the flights for the two of you and a sense of who else is traveling, somewhere to stay for you, and maybe a little help for your guests getting around once you're there, the airport, the transfer, and few extra days on the ground to arrive early, settle in, and handle the last small things in person. None of this change the method. It's the same step, just a wider set of pieces. And the seasons touch both of the wedding on the trip, so it's worth understanding before you lock in the date. There is no shame in any number. Now remember that one thing I said I'd clear up? Here it is, because it stopped good couples from getting the help they need. There is zero shame in your number. Whatever it is, I mean that completely. A smaller budget is not something to be embarrassed about. And it is absolutely not something anyone gets to make you feel small about. A careful budget and a grand one deserve the exact same respect, and from a good planner, they get it. Here's why this matters so much in practice. When you're honest about your real number, you let the planner actually help you. They can shape the whole day around what you really have and place it where it means the most. But when couples hide their number or pad it because they scared of being judged, the only person that hurts is them. Now the planner's working with a fiction and the helps get worse. So say your real number out loud. It's safe here. It's the only thing that lets someone do their best work for you. The planner is your ally, not a salesperson. So let me tell you what a good planner actually is, because it's not what a lot of people fear. They are not a salesperson trying to talk you up to a bigger number. They are an ally, and their entire job is to deliver your dream inside your budget and to tell you honestly what's possible at the number you've got. No upselling, no pressure, no little look when you say the figure. A good planner takes your real number and goes, okay, here's what we can do beautifully with this. And here's where I put it. So it means the most to you. And because they actually live there, they know what things really cost in Bali. So they protect you from paying more than you should just for being from somewhere else. That's the honest value at every level. The careful couple gets more day for their number, and the couples with room to spend gets every bit of its working on purpose instead of slipping away in a markup. Same lie, same honesty, different number. So here's where I leave you. Budgeting for your wedding really comes down to a handful of calm steps. Decide your number together on the same page. Fund what you love first. Allocate the rest as a shape you can bend. Hold the buffer. Track it where you can both see it. And add the trip on top because Bali is a destination. That's the whole method, and it's yours to use whether you ever talk to us or not. And when you're ready for someone in your corner, that's exactly what we're here for. Tell us your date, your guest count, and the number you're comfortable with. Whatever it is. And at the wedding in Bali, we'll match you with a Bali wedding planner who works to your budget. No judgment, no upselling, you can send the inquiry at the link below or message us on WhatsApp, whichever feel easier. It's free. There is no obligation and we reply during Bali hours. One last thing from someone who watch a lot of couples do this. Sitting down together and handling money honestly, kindly as a team before you even marry, that's one of the most loving things the two of you can do. You're not just planning a wedding, you're practicing a marriage. I'm Yoan from Wedding in Bali. See you in the next video.